You go.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Happy Sunday.
Hey.
How's everyone doing?
Tired. No.
Y'all seem so tired.
I mean, we good. We good. No.
All right. Well, hey, I'm Black Pearl, your girl, and I'm here today with Miscommunication,
Hey guys, what's up?
Dr. Royal Rain,
What's popping? What's cracking? What's happening?
and last but definitely not least, the Pleasure Plug.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Ladies, I love seeing your faces, and I got to see your faces twice this week.
Yeah.
So, hey to the Experience fam, we're so glad that you're with us. Today, we're going to be talking about the myths and the facts of sex. And before we even get into it, this whole process leading up to this actual show was such an eye-opener, a pearl clutcher, a thought provoker to really think in 2023, where we have all this access to information, that people are still making a good story about the birds and the bees. It was amazing. So, ladies,
Man.
did you guys get the bird and the bees talk when y'all were growing up? Did y'all get the birds and the bees talk? Did the birds tweet and the bees buzz for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a hey, sit down, this is how it's happening. You just kind of saw what was going on around you, and you're supposed to learn like that, I guess. I don't know, child, but yeah. I'm learning more now as a sexual health and wellness coach in my adult life than I ever, knew about sex or anything around that. So
What about you, Miscommunication?
Yeah, I come from like a very I wouldn't call it strict, but I came from a West African family, and essentially the talk was just don't do it.
period.
You're not that's not for you. That might be for her or for him with their fast selves, but you that's not a thing. And it's so funny because me and my cousins who are like in their 20s now, we all have like this joke where we actually like kind of talk about it, but in that way where it's like we talk about it like it's a person, or like it's, you know what I mean, like because we're so like conditioned not to talk about it. So every once in a while when I say something about it, they all look at me like, oh, I'm like, come on, y'all, stop it. Y'all 27, 26, y'all getting it in, stop it, like don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
What
but
about What about you, Ryan? Did you get to talk?
I did get to talk. I vaguely remember it actually.
It must have been real boring.
No, it was one of those. Oh, okay. My dad actually gave me the talk. My dad was as like the vocal one when it comes to stuff like that. My mom was very, very strict, Bible Belt ish. You have sex, you going to hell. Premature sex, the whole fornication stuff. But my dad, I do remember literally the birds and the bees talk, and literally that's what he gave me, was the birds and the bees. That's why I was saying, like, yeah, I remember it, but it was like, oh, okay, because I don't think I got it, if that makes sense.
Oh, I got you saying. You heard it.
I heard it. I was like, okay.
Okay. Well, for me, I don't know if it was an official talk. My mom was always saying things because she's a GYN nurse to kind of scare me into not doing it. And I can tell it was to scare me because it was nothing sweet about it, right? And then when I got my menstrual for the first time, I remember walking out to the yard and, hey, Ma, I got my mens. And she was like, well, you're not a kid and you know what happens. And if you have a baby, you're going to have to keep it. And my dad was like, I mean, sex is really good if you do it with the right person. It may feel like it's great for you to do it with a bunch of people, but you really just want to do it one person. And then my mom and dad commenced to go back and forth, and that was the end of my birds. And I learned more about the bee that's gonna sting you if you don't do it, So
a quick question, Black.
Yeah.
So Pearl, so you have children. Did you have the talk with them?
Oh, absolutely. I taught my sons how to put on condoms and my daughter, but taught my sons to put on condoms. I have talks with them. I have hey, soul ties, all of that. I'm very, I'm an open person.
Well, I mean, they don't know, so I'm asking you
I am
as a you
and
know what
I
I'm
am a
saying?
very open person. I have very open, realistic, like I'm not in there like, yeah, jump in there and do it. I'm like, honestly, I understand the importance of waiting now more than I did before, even though I wasn't out there like that. I talked to them about the importance of giving and pleasing the right partner, getting checked up, not putting your mouth on everything, taking a shower, knowing your body, stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest, I waited. I did not jump into it. And when I say jump into it, sometimes you can give people information too soon. And then, I think what I love, and I think this is just my relationship with my kids, that they come to me and be like, so I heard this. Is this true? And even one of Pleasure Plug's courses, my daughter's son, she goes, will you take it with me? And I'm like, sure, girl, let's do it. So I think the difference is I wanted to give my kids what I didn't get.
That.
And it motivates me so much. I think it's literally the driving force of my parenting. I'm just like, I want to give them all the best things that I got, plus what I felt I really needed, so. But thank you for asking.
That's a great question. Because I'm the same way. I did not want my kids. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. I did not want my children to have the same experience as I had, which is basically being uninformed and then learning from my peers or so-called friends, because that's a whole other thing. And learning things or thinking I'm learning about something and I still did not have a clue. You understand? And so very similar Pearl. I taught my kids all of that. My daughter, when she was, because she was a good girl like Pearl. And so she was quite opposite of her mother. And which is good. No, it is.
I wasn't a good girl at all then.
She was truly a good girl. But when she began to have certain experiences, and I distinctly remember when she was in high school, and I hope she's okay with me sharing this because I'm already sharing it now. But when she was in high school, she came to me because she had a boyfriend. She was like a junior, I think, in high school. And he wanted to perform oral sex on her. And she was like, Mommy, I really didn't like that. And then he wanted me to reciprocate. And she was like, I said, good girl.
Okay.
Because we hadn't gotten into that part of the conversation, right? But then she expressed how he fingered her. And she said, Mama, that was nice. And I said, let me tell you something, baby. And my brother happened to be visiting us at the time. And so he was hearing this conversation because I was folding clothes. And when she said that, I said, baby, I said, let me tell you something. I said, if you thought that finger was something and you enjoyed that, when you get the real deal, baby, you're going to be like, ooh-wee. And it's going to be on and popping from there. I said, so I'm just letting you know that I'm glad you're sharing this with me. And I'm glad that experience, kind of brought some enlightenment to you. But just understand that when you decide to go the next mile, I said, just like, because this is when Life Jennings song was out. SEX, y'all remember that back in the day?
Yes.
I said, it's just like Life Jennings said. It's like poison in your vein. It's going to keep calling you and calling you. And she was like, oh.
Was that your talk or that was just a talk?
That was my talk. Baby, I talk like I talk.
You know what? I love that. I love that transparency. I do. And that's comfortable coming to you guys. I love that.
And that's what my brother said. He said, oh my God. Like after she went on, went on to her room and stuff. And my brother was like, yo, he was like, sis, that was so dope. He said, I want to have that type of relationship with my children, with my daughter, because at the time he had a daughter. He said, I want to have that type of relationship with my daughter when she becomes a teenager. Because, like, yeah. He said, oh, wow.
That's beautiful. I think
Information is power. So the fact that you gave her information, you are giving her a tool to put in her toolbox. You know, that's good.
Yeah, I think also for me, growing up, I've seen people I wouldn't say in my circle, in my age group, go through things sexually that was like
a nightmare on Elm Street.
I can't say she's a friend, but I had a acquaintance who could not sit down for like a week because she just let someone slam her out anally. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
And it was like I can't even say and then believing the myths, because that's what it was, believing the myths of sex, like if I do it in a pool, I'm not gonna get pregnant. And then, oh well, you're a pregnant lady, things like that. So I know that some of my kids shared with me some of their recent myths, but I'd like to hear first from you guys, myths that you heard in general growing up about sex.
So I'm gonna jump in here real quick, and then I'm gonna let y'all tag along because mine is real simple. I didn't have any myths. I didn't know nothing. Nobody talked to me about nothing.
So you were just blind. That's what you're saying. You went in blindly to having sex.
Right. I just knew about the birds and the bees flying around pollinating. I mean, and that's me. That's me in a nutshell.
There's more of you out there than you realize.
There's a whole lot of me out there.
Yes,
my spirit and stuff has been exchanged multiple times over. But what I'm saying is that energy is out there. You're absolutely right. There's a whole lot of me out here in this world.
Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
I suppose I'm not.
Well, so I did not hear myths myself. I again saw what other people were going through.
Yeah.
And it was some ugly stuff, baby. It was some ugly stuff, some bubbly lips coming in and all this other stuff. But my children did share some of their myths while miscommunication and the pleasure plug, gathered theirs and their mine. So here are what some kids nowadays, it doesn't cover a big population of thinking. The wider the back, the wetter the cat.
Wow.
So a woman with a wide back has a wet cooch.
What does that have to do with the cooch?
Wow.
Okay, continue.
I don't know. It's not even associated. All right. So pineapples help a man's semen taste better. And a pomegranate helps a woman's vagina taste better. And the reason why pineapples are not for women is because it has high acidity. Stop it. The big.
I can see the truth to that, though.
You look up like
to that.
I'm
I
just.
can see something.
It's thought provoking. I'm with you. Okay.
It is very thought provoking, but just sharing. Then a big bulge print means a big penis. Now I know that's a lie.
That's a lie for sure.
That's a lie.
And it's sweatpants season, and it's like some of these people walking out here just lying to all of us. Just lying.
I'm gonna come back to that. Let me just give this.
Okay. We think about something else. Oh, okay, got it.
And then bigger balls mean higher fertility.
So wouldn't you want to? So as a young woman, wouldn't you want to stay away from the man with the bigger balls because you ain't trying to get knocked up?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to say. Like,
so if you're dealing with somebody, his ball sack is ginormous.
You need to be careful because you got a higher chance to get pregnant.
Okay.
That's the difference between a young man and a grown man. Little boys have little ball sacks. Grown men, and the older that they get. Go on, girl. Continue with your stories.
That was just right.
Because I'm thinking, well, if the balls are small, then so is the. Anyway, okay.
But so I mean, in terms of myths.
Yeah.
I remember, them saying things like, if you have sex standing up,
That you won't
you
get pregnant.
won't get pregnant. That was like, but this is like, all right. So remember, this is like
shower. You got to clean up. So
this is like remember, this is, I'm gonna say this is all prior to the boom of the internet where you can actually find this information out.
Right.
But that was one of them. Also I've had like, I mean, it's funny. I've had because I can say I lost my virginity when I was 16. I can say that I can say.
I'm so behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was 16.
No, you're not.
Like,
you're fine.
And the interesting thing is I didn't start liking it until I was like in my 24.
When people start actually knowing a little bit of
knowing what they were doing, I guess, if that's what you say, because not for nothing, not these young, they don't know. It's
just slap and spin.
It's just putting it in there and just do something, and then there you go, and then
learn by doing.
And then it was like, so yeah, it was like about an orgasm. Like if you don't have an orgasm, then you can't get pregnant.
What is that?
That's what I got when I was young too. If you don't have an orgasm, wow. And
you would have a population deficiency.
What I'm saying is right. I'm saying that as the woman, not the man, because not the man, because everything was skewed towards the man anyway. It was all about the man's pleasure anyway. So you know what I mean, like. So if you just don't have an orgasm, then you can't get pregnant. Yeah, that was one of the myths that I.
What about your myths? Like, wow, that just blew me away.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay, no orgasm. That seems to be easy because these boys don't know what they're doing anyway. Now thinking back on it, like they didn't know what they was doing anyway. So it wasn't like that was ever. I was safe if that was the case. Pregnancy, what's that?
I'm done with you. Go ahead.
Y'all are crazy. That's good though. That's good. I'd say a myth is that squirting is pee.
Yeah.
That was something that I was happy to get more knowledge on in this business. But yeah, I think that was a good one because it scared me. And I'm like, well, no, I don't want to ever squirt. I think that's disgusting. But girl.
Hold on. We need, hold on. Young viewers, older and young viewers, pause for a cause. Because we want to educate as we go along and dispel some of these. Go back. Let me stay right here with Plug for a second.
I'm with you wherever you want to go, baby.
I don't know where I want to go, but I think I want to stick with you for 1 second.
Okay.
So, fellas and ladies, first and foremost, ladies, before you have intercourse, please go use the restroom. Okay? Relieve your bladder. Relieve your bladder. Well, that too, but we already talked.
We're gonna assume that they've already washed it.
Yeah, we addressed the hygiene part.
Yes. Right. Yes. Right. Okay.
All right. So please relieve your bladder. Now, during digital stimulation, because I'm gonna keep this PG.
I'm teaching y'all.
PG-13. So digitals are fingers. During digital stimulation, if you have not relieved your bladder and you are digitally stimulating your clitoris, you will ejaculate urine. Okay, let's be clear. Fellas, that might be some pee. Because if that,
it's most likely pee.
Because if that woman, does not know what she's doing, she probably is giving you a golden shower in celebration of R. Kelly. Now, just want to throw that out there. Now, under normal circumstances, as Madam Plug has said, it can be a beautiful thing because of the fact that it's it can be a beautiful thing because it is not urine. Okay, so again, we're educating today, right?
Well, if you're talking about hygiene, wouldn't digital stimulation also part of that hygiene would be to make sure you maintain your nails as well, because
Absolutely.
And wash your hands, both. Like, make sure your hands don't
Absolutely.
touch it if your hands are dirty.
Absolutely.
Please,
Ever,
Absolutely.
ever. We have to
all
do
these types of problems, and
Absolutely.
situations, and itches and scratches, and all them other things there. But to the
It is not beautiful.
the pleasure plug. So, can you explain to the viewers
Okay.
about the squirt? Because I can honestly tell
Thank you.
that's one of those things where I think
Thank
a lot of people see it in
They're like, ooh, ooh.
pornography or whatever,
Mhm.
and it's a completely different experience, I guess, in
Thank
real
you.
life. If that makes
Yes.
any sense.
I love
It's
it.
so anybody can do it, right? Like, because I used to be like, oh, I'm not a squirter, girl. You just haven't met the right person.
you just ain't found the right.
you know,
Or the
but-
right tool, or the right tool, or the right tool.
or the right exactly. So you have to know your body first of all, and then your lover or partner, whoever, or partners, right? We ain't judging. You have to make sure you're hitting the right spots simultaneously, and find your rhythm. Stay at it, stick to it, and then watch some magic happen.
The finish line. To the finish line.
Because
I mean, that's the best way I can put it without being disgusting. But I mean, it's basically like she was saying, it's ejaculation, it's female ejaculation,
Yes.
and it happens in the form of a upward spray motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's,
sometimes it's
you
more
can't really
violent.
control it either. So
Yeah,
No.
it's out of your control. But it's a beautiful thing, I mean, to be in such a
well,
state of pleasure.
I've heard from men, it's almost like the championship. You're like, yes, I did that. I did that.
Them, like, I mean, like bragging rights or whatever, like for their
Yeah.
ego, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's for us, for sure. But yeah, so yeah. Hopefully that cleared up. Okay.
So we did do polls on our Facebook page, and we also did it on our Instagram page. Yes.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's go back to miscommunication real quick before we hit these polls.
Okay.
Hit the polls. Damn. What happened?
Yeah, I'm like,
I said,
what happened?
So when you were talking about the myth of having sex standing up, again, because we don't know who's watching, okay? I don't know. So just so that everyone is clear, sperm, when you went to school, y'all learned about sperm. Hopefully y'all did. I don't know what they
mighty
teach in
swimming
school.
sperm. Mm-hmm.
But sperm has a little tail and it does this jiggly bop thing movement. So sperm will travel. Therefore, if you are standing up, lying down, doggy style, however you are, it does not matter. If that spermie wants to get to your eggy, it will
It's
find
right
it.
it's a little like
Yes, it's gonna get there. Okay.
That's its mission in its existence is to find that's it. That's all it's there.
that's really it.
That's all it's there for.
So
Sperm
please
is detectives. They're detectives. They
yes.
Have y'all never seen, sorry, just so sidebar, but still in the same thing. Y'all have never seen a penis move when it gets near a vagina by itself? It's just like, oh.
It does. It gets happy. It's
Like,
like,
oh, here we go. It's exciting. Okay.
it's like a leapfrog. So it right.
I'm serious. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
I
And
do.
literally, you're just like, oh, it sincerely has a
The
mind.
jump and the jump and the jerk is what I call it. It's like
Yes.
the jump and the jerk.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, we're on the job. There's a vagina. Let's go.
Let's
right?
go.
That's how it
Right.
goes. Okay. And I'm only talking from experience. I don't know what it does if it sees a anus or whatever. I'm just saying, I know when a penis gets close to a vagina, it's almost like, okay, it's time. It's almost like it's like on your mark.
Yep.
You're set. It's
Yep.
like ready. You know, like when you're in track, you kind of do. Well, for those of you who haven't, you kind of do this. That's
Right.
so. I'm very sure the sperm is being notified. We about to go swimming.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I want to just throw that out there and understand, because we didn't talk about it, but we're gonna touch it real quick. We're gonna touch it real quick.
I love that song. Sorry.
people talking about that pull-out game, because we had our own sidebar conversations, ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for this show. So we had a good time just having conversation.
Mhm.
And we were talking about the concept of people's pull-out game. And if you pull out, you ain't gonna get pregnant.
Lies.
Baby.
Listen, I got a 24-year-old based on pull-out.
Listen, that pre-con. This is the pre-con.
That pre-ejac.
This is the pre-con.
There is such thing as pre-ejaculation. And if you don't, oh Lord, I'm trying to not be too descriptive.
I mean,
ladies,
listen.
no, because I don't know who's watching, so I'm trying to be watching. But listen, if you, this is fun. If you are having fun with your man, I'm gonna give y'all a tip.
Oh gosh, she's gonna give you a tip.
Y'all see my lip gloss?
Really give you a tip. Okay, go ahead.
This is my lip gloss. Imagine this was your man. Ladies, hold your man. Let me get my hand right. Hold your man, right?
Look, let me get close.
You see the tip of this lip gloss, right? Take your finger and just do his head of his penis just like this. Do like this, and watch what starts dripping. Ladies and gentlemen,
Potential babies.
if y'all have never, and FYI, men like this, just so y'all know, because
I think I just assumed when you said a tip, it was gonna be a good one.
Well, no, because I don't know what people know. But if you do like this, act like it's a lighter. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Flick his bick. Flick it. Just do this number. Right. Look at miscommunication. Do this number.
Flick
and
it.
that will
yes.
and
Okay.
that will be the pre-ejaculation.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, your pull-out game is on 0 because there is no such thing as a true pull-out game. I'm just telling y'all.
So wait, can we do this real quick, because I want to say this.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Now, and with the pleasure plug, I want you to tell me if I'm wrong or not. So he has on a condom.
Okay.
And he's gonna pull out. He's gonna like something like, okay. So usually when they pull out, that's usually when they're condomless. If that makes any sense, that would be the reason to pull out. Right. But I feel as though some men feel as though if I'm in it and I have a condom on, I don't need to pull out. What say you, the pleasure plug? What say you?
Like still being able to get pregnant? Oh yeah, that's a thing.
But like in other words, because condoms do burst. Yes, right. And you know, I mean, granted, usually I've seen where, you know, well, I'm trying. Okay, so like when they'll put it on, they'll start off without one and they'll put it on. You know, they'll put it on in the middle because they know that it's about to go down.
So you've already started without it. So I mean,
right. So what was the point, right? Because already the juices are already in it.
Like that pre-ejaculation that Dr. Roy just talked about is already in there.
I'm just making sure you all know.
Do apply the condom correctly with the space at the tip, right? To give them, and that's what it's for, to give them space to do their thing. But even if it like catches it all in the condom successfully, and there's still risk of pregnancy, like for sure. Yeah, that's crazy to think that. I mean, I'm still insane to think that.
The only 100% safe way you're not going to get pregnant is to what? Not have sex.
Period. Like that's it.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean because I do it anally, I won't.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. If any holes in your body are being penetrated, okay.
Yeah.
A hole is a hole. A hole is a hole.
And before we get to the poll, that stands true for STIs and STDs as well. What you can get in your vagina and your anal hole, you can get in your mouth. So you can have things like chlamydia in your mouth. You can have herpes in your mouth. Actually, you can have herpes in your eye. So it's just all the same. It is the exchange of bodily fluids. So wherever it is exchanged, that can occur.
And whoever your lover is as well, because we're talking right now, we doing a lot of heterosexual sex, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, we
It's
you know,
whomever. Yeah. It's
and
whomever.
you know, I think we're all allies here. So whatever
We are.
whatever
We are.
boat you
We
float,
just, yeah, we can
what
only
flag
speak
you
from our
fly,
experience.
that
So,
part too.
yeah. So we can only speak from
Absolutely.
our experience. But bodily fluid doesn't matter what gender you are. It's bodily fluid. So
Correct.
all right. So that being the case, Dr. Roy, you want to talk about some of our poll questions?
Okay, let me pull it up. Okay, hold on.
Ooh,
I'm not ready.
If you want, I can start.
Oh, you got it? Yes, go for it. Sure.
She said, "Oh, you got it." I do. I don't have it in a specific order. Does
Oh,
that
it
matter?
doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
So one of the questions that we had on the poll was, hold up, let me get in there. See, it's because I said I had it and I looked like I was lying. Okay. A woman's vaginal pH is the same as wine or beer. True or false?
What did the people say?
So most people said true. Most people said true. Most of the voters said true. So
Pleasure plug, you want to touch this?
I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all
Okay.
go ahead.
So it is true. It is very true. The pH of a woman's vagina is the same as wine or beer. So what I would say, even though I don't have a wine or a glass to celebrate,
to celebrate.
is to drink up, lick up, just enjoy your wine or your
Intoxicate
beer.
yourself with the
Please.
intoxicate.
Intoxicate yourself with the sweet juices.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, so the next. Okay.
No calories, and it's no calories.
Okay, and you burn them at the same time. All right.
That's how it works.
So the next question was true or false. The average orgasm for a woman only lasts 15 seconds. So we had actually most of our viewers said false. So we had a few trues, but we had a false.
So are we saying that it can last up to 15
It
seconds
says
or less than 15 seconds?
Only lasts for 15 seconds.
So I think that an orgasm lasts less than 15 seconds.
Okay.
Because 15 seconds is a long time to
For
have
an orgasm.
to have a orgasm that long.
We're talking about like,
yes. See, go ahead, pleasure plug. Go ahead.
I mean, because
Let me read it to you again. The
Okay,
average orgasm for a woman only, not up to, only lasts for 15 seconds. What say you, pleasure plug?
I am looking for my facts. That's
Go
what
ahead, get your facts, girl. So
I'm-
we had a few people say false, and a few people. It's like literally. I'm gonna show this comment. I'm sorry.
no shoot. That's a whole time.
I mean, 15 seconds is a long time.
It is.
No, if you take your timer on your phone and you start a 15-minute timer,
Yeah, listen, I'm
15 seconds, you gonna pass the fuck out.
So I know pleasure is looking because I know she got it.
I am, and it's like it's so many here. Hold
But
on.
I distinctly remember Plug and I looking at this.
Rob, I said we talked about it before.
You did, and it is actually false. I do distinctly recall that a woman's orgasm can last longer than 15 seconds. It can actually
I found the fact.
40.
Right. It can actually last almost to a minute. Go ahead.
I found it on average. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Dang. Well, I'll
I think it's up to 40, but you got to think, guys. Like we're talking about average women. Like that don't mean everybody because it depends on what you got going on, right? Like,
wait, we're talking about 40. When you say about average 40 seconds, right?
No, so what was it? 15 to 40, right? Is that what we were
yeah,
about?
So what I have there is 15 to 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And think about it in this context. And I know every woman is different. But when Shut up, girl.
I'm just trying to, like, in my head, I'm like,
so think about it. Like, okay, to miscommunication to what you said. When it happens, you feel it, your body is going through the spasms, right? That's what I call it, the spasms. But for some women, even after, I call it like an aftershock.
Aftershock. Yes.
I call it an aftershock because even after, not to be descriptive to the audience until you all read it. But after, for me, after I have an orgasm, depending on that moment, because every orgasm is different, but I have rolled over and an aftershock hit me, and I'm like, oh, wait,
right.
So I want to share something with y'all. Sorry. So orgasms, the length of orgasm for the average orgasm has actually decreased. So
because somebody's not happy with their sex.
Correct. So it's also, yeah. Anyway, so prior to 2019, the average woman's orgasm was a duration of 20 seconds to 2 minutes.
Wow. 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
It was already hard for her to accept 40 seconds. A minute. What are y'all?
What is happening? I
gotta also remember that an what you're talking about, the shaking, and that's peak.
We're talking about full body. Listen, let me tell y'all something.
You're talking about the peak of the orgasm. Remember, it is a climb. But on average now, they are saying that it takes the time that we previously said.
Okay, so wait, before y'all go any further, I was just told, and I was just told by someone that she's I want to say she's in her mid-20s, and she's never had an orgasm. Ever.
A lot of women.
I was like, but wait, do you know? Because I could not. I was almost like say the same way y'all talking about 15 seconds into 40 seconds and 2 minutes and all. I could not wrap my head around the fact. I know that happens. I know that that's a thing, but never having one.
That's not abnormal.
That is
not if it was abnormal. I just was like,
how about this? Considering it takes a man 4 minutes to orgasm, but it takes a woman, what is like 10 to 20?
Yes, because that's one of our questions. Yes, it is.
So wait, let me just make sure I got this right. So we're talking about the climb to the orgasm, or we're talking about the actual. It's about to have the actual eruption. Because I'm trying. I'm
really that hard for you to process?
It is. It truly is.
Think about this also, and I just to give you some context and kind of help you wrap your mind around it. So at least 70% of women require direct clitoral stimulation. You got to think about that. That does not and you have to do it right. The clit is not a DJ booth. All right, you have to be very soft and gentle with her. So you got to, and we're talking about stimulation to the orgasm. That's what we're talking about. Like,
okay,
that feels good. Okay, great. That's cool. But that, like, you have to do that the right way in order to, like you were saying, like,
asking is a hell of a.
I say treat it like an eyeball. That's my answer when they.
Yeah, no, that's really, that's a really
like an eyeball. You don't be doing all that. Relax.
All right.
Be sensitive.
Okay, sorry, we
go to another question. Let's go to another question. Okay.
My bad.
Frequent ejaculation helps prevent prostate cancer. True or false? Everybody said true.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Hey, don't OD.
Please don't
OD. Too much of anything is not good.
Correct.
That thing gonna be looking at you like you tug on me one more time. Tug on me one more time.
Okay. But that's good. They need to listen. I think that especially when men get older, they need to stimulate that gland. And
very, very important. And also another thing I'll add is massaging the prostate is very, very good for them.
And it feels wonderful to them, even though they get kind of
right. Like just think about
sex. It enhances sex. To get closer to that prostate, yes, what they call the ganooch, that area. Come on, go ahead.
Oh, the ganooch, the thing, but under there.
Because see, our men might not know this.
I'm sorry. You see,
maybe.
I saw
That's
you.
another form of
Yeah.
care. Like that's love. Like that's another form of self-care for you or for, you know,
But how do men?
your partner.
How
But
do
I also
men-
want to say, please trust your partner.
But how
That
do
they
how
are
do
going
we
to respect
massage?
your
How
boundaries.
do we massage the prostate? Y'all assuming people know stuff. Men ain't there. Listen, men just grab it and just go. A lot of men don't know how to massage their prostate. Women don't know anything about what you just said. Talking about the ganoush. They're like, what's that? The stuff at Olive Garden in the soup. Listen,
So if you're right. Listen, you see, I'm not even mad at you. I'm not even
you're right.
mad.
right.
This is the first time I've ever heard of a ganoush. So yes, can we please find
Well,
out?
some people call it that because it's like that space in between the well, for the man, that skin that goes in between where it's kind of like a nothingness before you get to the anus. No?
Okay.
All right. So
Underneath the ball sack.
behind the ball sack.
Right here, behind the ball. This is the balls, right underneath.
So there's a penis.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm serious.
Balls. If you lift up the balls, there's a space where if you put your hand, there's like smooth skin.
Yes, I know that part. Yes.
Okay. So if you also pay attention to your partner, assuming your partner is a male, if you pay attention to the structure of their penis, there is a vein. It kind of feels like a vein or an outlet for okay. If you follow it all the way to the back into that area, very close to the anal hole, it will continue. You massage it in a very circular motion sometimes. With 2 or 3 fingers, depending, I got small fingers, 2 or 3 fingers, you massage it in a rhythm. So if you're in the act,
don't act like a DJ. Like, don't go ahead.
You need to be gentle because that area is very sensitive. Okay. And that's why I say you have to trust your partner because it get pretty close to the anal hole. Okay.
And always have consent when you're doing
have consent because you might get punched in the face.
right.
So you want to massage it, you want to caress it, you want to have a nice rhythm. And I'm being honest, you go too fast.
Yeah.
So you want to have a nice rhythm with it. If it's
too fast, what happens?
It's a sensitive area. What happens when you go too fast on your clitoris?
It
feels good to wait. What the hell?
Okay, I just want to know. Listen. I'm here. I'm learning.
Oh, you're learning. Okay,
a lot.
So we don't want to use our nails. We want to use the tips of our fingers where your fingerprint is. And when I say a rhythm, is because the rhythm causes a rhythm of stimulation for your partner as well. So let's use oral sex as an example. You're going up and down the staff, and I hope y'all don't neglect the balls, but you're going up and down on the staff and you're giving some attention to the balls. You want to go behind it as well and use your finger. Hey, we care about you too.
Yes. Caring is sharing, or sharing is caring, or whatever.
So what it is, and the best way for me to explain it to you, still trying to, be educational and not nasty, is if whatever you're doing is like, oh my gosh, this is so great. When you reach that area, it's like adding an energy drink or a Red Bull or turning it up a notch. So you're doing like 100, now you're going to 2.0 when you get into that area. It's helpful to them. It is stimulating. And it really, honestly, to me, it takes trust, right? And being cleanly, because you're going to a dark place if you're going to use your mouth. So I'm just being honest. There are things that happen behind the balls that if you do not have the proper hygiene, can be unhealthy for you to place your mouth on. That's all I wanted to say.
Absolutely. Good job. Good job.
So, all right.
What's the next one?
I must have got miscommunicated because she gave me the side like,
Yeah, you see it, right?
So, okay. So the next one is orgasms help to activate your immune system.
True.
Okay. We had a couple of falses. So, pleasure plug.
Let me tell y'all something.
Let me tell y'all something. Go ahead.
So, orgasms help. They do help boost your immune system. They also help with menstrual cramps for females. You know, that happens all the time, right? So I'm like, oh, babe, I'm coming on. Right? Help me out. There, it's just, or not even, or I'll back up. So orgasms and sexual arousal, right? Like, so you put it together to fight, to fight off things. Not, you can't have your orgasm without the sexual arousal, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the point. You got to start there, because the body needs about what we say, about 20 minutes to be
For
warm.
women, that's
You
right.
know what I mean? So
That's right.
we're gonna go back to that oven thing. We're just gonna throw that in there, right?
Heat that oven.
So yeah, just make sure, because your body is gonna naturally do what it's supposed to do once it's all warm and you have your and those endorphins going and that dopamine and all that good stuff. Yeah,
That's
you give your body what it need.
And also, the orgasms also help for sleep.
Absolutely.
You know how you be wanting to be knocked out right after.
I know the answer. I'm just putting it out there so that everyone.
No, it does. That's the fact. It does help.
It's a great stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Wonderful.
it is.
Yep.
And when Plug was talking about the sexual arousal leading up to the orgasm, men and women, this is potentially solo time. Because I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, I have to have a partner to have. No, you don't. You can. This can be a definite solo venture.
Very important. Yeah, like to set the scene.
Enjoy learning you. Go ahead, Plug. I'm sorry, love.
No, you're right. I said no. I was just agreeing. You should definitely set the scene for you too. I mean, if you're pleasuring yourself. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Let's try another one. Oh, I felt like I skipped one. I did. My apologies.
Okay.
Women experience greater sexual satisfaction with a larger penis. Everyone answered false, and I'm gonna co-sign false.
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 So wait, what? You said what now?
Women experience greater sexual satisfaction with a larger penis.
So bigger is better, basically.
Oh,
bigger is better. But
necessarily true.
That's not necessarily.
I am gonna go with the old school saying that it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion. Yeah.
In the ocean.
Absolutely.
Right. Did my face just change? Because my face just changed. No,
it did.
Okay.
It did. We saw it.
It did.
Okay.
It did.
All right, just making sure. No,
we
listen.
need to pay attention to the subtitles.
Let me tell you something. I can say that yes, a paper cut does hurt too. I can say that too. I will say that. So, but at the same token, okay, right? Because I mean, I was in love with somebody but while I was in love with him, it was great, and when I was no longer in love with him, I was mad.
Wait. So you said the sex was bad, and you?
No, she said when she loved him, his size was fantastic. She was.
It didn't matter. Okay, because I love you, and it doesn't matter, you know. Yeah. And then as time went on, and when I
bamboozled yourself, I got you.
Basically, when I stopped liking him, I was like,
"What is this?
This is like at one point I said, yo, this is not right. This is incorrect. Like this is not where we need to be." And it's like, but then again, I've also had somebody with the dumbest, I was like, this is not normal. Sorry, this is not normal.
This is not normal. Okay.
This is not, no, it was seriously
satisfying.
He made it work. And I was like, that's not going in there. He said, watch me. I got you. I was like, all right, watch.
We're gonna move on because that's not what we talk about.
Wow. Watch me, I got you. I was like, all right, cool, no being, no bad, and it was great. So it's like, again, yes, size. Okay, so technically, size is not an actual.
It's what you do with it.
There you go. Okay. What you do with your equipment, exactly. I've seen people drive down the road with what's some little cars, a Mini Cooper, and put a whole lot of stuff in that Mini Cooper. So actually, the size can be deceiving. If that makes any sense.
Makes sense. All right. The G-spot was discovered by a female doctor. True or false?
This is false. I thought this was interesting, but it is false.
What you think? What you got to tell us, Pleasure Plug?
It is false. So it was a man, a German man, And I just call him Dr. G because I hate misspelling
Yeah.
his name.
Very German name.
I'm in Baron Candy, and I'm just like, I'd be like, Grafenberg. Even the way we saying it wrong with the American accent anyway. But Dr. Ernst, he discovered the G spot, and everyone knows that it is 2 inches up, right, inside the woman's vagina. Well, I'm using 2 fingers, but you can use 1 or 2 or 3, however many. But
2 inches up.
And then using your come hither motion, that is usually what gets them there. But yes, so he also invented the IUD, which I thank him for, as well.
Concur.
Look, okay. But yeah, that was interesting. I love being in this business because, like I said, it's fun to learn these things too. But it's like the more I learn, the more ignorance is bliss, because it's like, well, damn. I should have known this, or why nobody told me? But
well, most people are not like educate me. They're like, I'll feel my way through, and not being fun. No pun intended. I'll feel my way through. So
we learn by doing, which is the wrong way to learn.
And please, did I say please? Please do not think porn is your visual education to sex. It is not.
It is not.
It really is not.
She's a paid actress. That's all I can say about that. She's being paid to do this. So, she's going to sound the way you think she's supposed to sound. She's going
it's just not reality. And it does not only mess you up mentally and expectation-wise, on a spiritual level, you probably going to be more satisfied watching it over and over and over and over again versus the reality and the work that you need to do.
Again, she's getting paid, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there it is.
All right. You can guess the size of a man's penis by his shoe size or his hand size.
Lies.
Listen. And deceptions. And deceptions.
Lies.
And deceptions.
I know we just said bigger doesn't necessarily mean better, but like, why you gotta lie about yourself if you're gonna be, out here fronting? I don't think that's fair. I don't even think
it's a lie. I think, okay.
I don't know where that myth came from.
I don't know either.
That's just like the wider the back, the wetter she is, or something.
I've had, and this has only happened to me when I moved down south, that people like, oh, this person bow-legged, so they got a big penis. No, their mama carried them on their hip too long. They ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what do you say? If that's the case, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I am, my grandmother had a big one because her legs nearly looked broken. You know what I mean? Like, one has nothing to do with the other. I just want to share that. Sorry. I was having a moment. The penis has no bones, so it isn't breakable.
That's not true.
That's
not true. So here's the thing. I don't know if it has a bone, but I know that you can have a penile fracture.
Yes, you can.
I worked in the ER, and I have come to learn that. I came to learn that because the poor boy came in there and his joint was broke, and his poor girlfriend. It was heartbreaking because they were young, whatever.
Yeah. And it's broken.
She was doing her thing, and she
fell off.
Oh,
she fell off. She fell over, and she broke the boy's penis. Now let's be clear. He was an adult, so he wasn't like a child or anything like that. But he was young.
Yeah.
And imagine you having to call your mother to tell your mother that you like literal, like it was one of those moments where I swear I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be sick. Because when his mother ran in there, it was like this was like a novella for real. Because I was like, I don't know what this lady gonna do. Homegirl, she had to leave because she was so embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she can definitely break a penis.
It's not a bone.
But it's not a bone.
You can cause injury and
fracture it.
A fracture, yes.
Thank you.
Hurt it really bad.
Yes, a fracture. And it's a erect state. It is close to a bone as possible. So if you break it, it's not a bone, but it's it could be yes.
Okay.
And men, hold on 1 second. Mm-hmm. Men, you guys can be a little too rough with your bone.
Mm-hmm.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
So you can be too rough and you can cause a fracture. So ladies, fellas, don't have these girls jumping down on you with a handstand. Blow. It will fracture it. That's not cute.
If it bends the wrong way, my God.
Baby, and that's some pain you ain't never felt before in your life, nor do you want to. And I don't even have a penis, but I can only imagine.
The birds flying over your head and everything. Like it's a
God.
But
Okay.
yes, masturbation, over masturbation, if you do it wrong, you can fracture it. Go ahead, baby. I'm ready.
You're fine. A penis length stays the same forever. Everyone said false. So
And because it is.
okay.
It is. As you get older, like that's going to be our next topic next week. That's a good segue, real quick. Next week, we're talking about these changes that happen as we get older. Men, as you get older, you're not always going to be lean, mean, throw down machine. Okay, it's going to have some changes. Go ahead, love bug.
And last, but certainly never least, an erection is an erection. There's only one kind. So we have a couple of trues and a couple of falses.
But when you say that, I don't understand what that means.
So this actually is false. Listen, y'all know I love it.
So there are different types of erections.
There are 4 different types of erections.
Let's hear it.
Educate me.
Learn some things on this show today.
So the first one is called a psychogenic erection. Psychogenic basically means visual. So from visual stimulation, that when we walk out and we're like, ta-da, okay, and he gets erect, that's okay. There we are. That's
I'm sorry. It was the
right.
Did it for me.
We knew what you meant, though, right?
All right. So that's the psychogenic. Then there's one called reflexogenic.
Is that like when it's cold or stuff like that? Is that what that is?
Nothing. It's a subconscious action. So nothing out of the blue really causes it. It's just
like it when they wake up, like maybe that, like when they wake up and it's,
or when the little boys have them in school, like for no reason.
For no reason, it just happens.
Okay. So psychogenic, and then
psychogenic, reflex, basically reflex. Okay. The next one is your nocturnal. We all know about nocturnals, right? Mm-hmm. And then the last one, this is so dope, but it ain't dope. I'm sorry, y'all. But
go ahead. Take us there.
It is called the angel lust erection. Angel lust.
What is that?
What is an angel lust erection?
Angel lust erection happens when a man dies, and some men, they get their final erection.
What?
So if you ever, so I love Madea movies. So if you watch,
when she's trying to put the thing down,
when she tried to put the coffin down, and he was like, he died very happy. And she kept doing boom, boom, boom. Yes. So seriously, a man can have what's called an angel lust erection, and this is what happens after when they pass.
So wait, let's go through this one more time. So it's a visual one, which is called what again, Dr.
Psychogenic.
Psychogenic, and that's when the presentation, the visual stimulation. Okay. Yes. Then you have reflex. Is that the real?
That's correct. Reflexogenic.
Reflexogenic.
Yes.
And that is
completely subconscious. Yeah, it just hits you.
And then nocturnal, which is the one we all know when they sleep and they wake up, and then the angel
lust.
Angel lust. So none of those are the erection that happen when you're giving head or blah blah blah, right? Is that
No.
Oh.
No, because that's physical stimulation. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Oh no, that's fine. I was trying.
Wow,
look at me learning something new.
I learned something new too, especially they're real seductive. And I was
there's some there's some health conditions that actually cause young men to have erections for like a prolonged period of time. The priapism.
Yep.
Oh. Yes, priapism. That's actually like people like young men who have sickle cell.
Yep.
That's one of those things where it gets hard and it will not go down. And you have to literally have to have medical intervention to make it go down.
Really? It's almost like overdosing with Viagra. Is it like that?
Well, kind of sort of like that, but this is like a natural thing because their blood vessels are not normal.
Ooh, okay.
It gets kind of like stuck, and they've actually had to inject sugar, glucose, into the vas deferens to make it go down.
Interesting.
Wow, that is very interesting.
That is very interesting.
You working in the ER, boy, I learned a lot of. I've seen a lot of things.
Okay. So we're at our minute mark. Gosh,
hold on 1 second. We got one more.
Okay, I might have missed it. Go ahead.
So the last one had to do with, are there any creams or pills?
Oh, I did miss that one.
That can enlarge your penis? The answer to that is no. Okay, so don't go into your convenience stores buying this stuff, and because y'all don't know what y'all getting.
Say that.
But you can have a penis enlargement surgery, fellas. If it's that serious to you, there is a surgery, and
Wouldn't it be maybe the male version of a BBL?
That's what I was just saying to myself. I said, I was like, don't do it.
I know a dude. Well, I don't know him, but yeah, I know of a dude that got the whole stuff. Yeah, but there is at Beverly Candy, we have a spray. We got the blue bottle. I don't got no blue pill, but we got the blue bottle. You have to already be erect, but you spray it on there, and it'll help you last.
Give you a couple of
last longer. See,
last longer, but not bigger.
Already, no. So it'll keep you at the wherever you at for longer. Yeah.
It's an extension, so the spray extends the
Yes. When you get a chance, the pleasure plug, I'm gonna need you to email me one of them catalogs because I got some. I'm like,
pleasure plug and I are supposed to do a virtual thing. So.
Yes.
But yeah.
That being said, we've learned a lot. Right, we got to the hour mark. I mean, at least for me, it was good to get some confirmation as well. So I do want to get final words, and I'm going to start off with miscommunication. Do you have any final words for?
You already know this right here. These are the kind of shows I like to do because not for nothing. Not only is it entertaining, but it's definitely educational. I've learned a lot, and this is where this is it right here. And it's like knowing the facts and knowing the fiction will definitely put us in the right direction in terms of sex. Knowing these things is good. Always good to know. That's my answer. Good to know.
Good to know. What about you, doctor?
Just take the time to educate yourself. Don't don't go off of just what you hear. Go do some research and learn some things. And then if you don't find your answer, feel free to hit us up privately and ask you a question.
You can hit us up anywhere now.
Yeah, we might be able to give you some insight.
Yeah. All right. The pleasure plug. I know this is your creme de la creme. That's why I left you.
This my space.
What's your nugget? Give these people out here the nuggets.
Y'all know this is my space. I love talking about sex. But I was just saying, when you know better, you do better. I'm coming off the sentiments of Dr. Roya and miscommunication, because you know better, you do it better. The more you know, right? You educate yourself on this. And this is why I love what I do, because in this business, you empower people to be, better versions of themselves in and out of the bedroom. So yeah, learn some stuff, y'all. Book me for a party. I got you now.
We don't give them that. So I wanted to thank our experienced family for joining us. My final nugget is really just more of as you see, the experience is growing. We are stretching our arms out. We have a new page. You can find us on the YouTube page. You can find us on Facebook, The Experience. You can find us on Instagram, The Experience _3. And you can find us on our website, all of which you can see when you go to our Facebook page. We are growing. We are touching additional communications, and we are communities, not communications, or ways of communication. Mm-hmm. But we definitely want you guys to stay excited, stay hungry, because we have so much more to bring you. May is going to be out of control with the things that we have to bring you guys. So don't sleep on us, because we're definitely not sleeping on you. And we want to say thank you for joining the experience, where the experience is always fire.
Yay.
Have a good one, fam. Thanks, ladies.
Later.
You're welcome.